Well, as I've been recognized, it's been, firstly, I must say, it's been a very great honor for me, just having had that recognition. And a lot of things inspire me, but in particularly, it's about making a difference in other people's lives. In some way or the other, it keeps fueling me and it propels me. And for me, it's that I have also a fantastic team that helps support me to achieve that. And they, in a big way, inspire me, both at home and at work. So that's I'm just honored to have received this recognition. Well, um, how for me empowering women's programs in ITHUBA's operations, or that philosophy or that value, has been critically important. I can tell you that about 60% of our executive are women, and not just women as tokens. They are in executive positions and decision-making positions. They are the head of the tables, in boardroom tables, and they're able to make really significant decisions. And for us, that's a philosophy. It's a way of life. I lead by example, and I've made sure that is escalated to the women in our own environment, in my own working environment. But also, it has impacted in that all our programs, whether it's CSI programs, which include entrepreneurial development or supplier development, all are leaned or are in favor of women-supported programs or women orientated programs, because this is very important to us as an organization and as a community. Very important point. And as I've said, it's not just about us being women and ourselves having given those opportunities as women. We must practice, we must open doors because somebody else has opened doors. So we must advocate for other women to be given opportunities, not only in government sectors or private sector, in businesses or in our communities. Women play a very integral part of raising the family, of being shapers of characters of the future leaders for tomorrow. So we've got to advocate their own freedom so that they in turn can invest in in the societies that they live in. So, and really for me, it's important because 51% of the women population or demographics are actually women. And so the socio-economic factors must also reflect the same in our societies. And our policies must also reflect the same. And also the conduct in terms of management, in terms of skills, must reflect the percentage that the demographics reflect. So for me, advocating women's causes, women's issues is very important. And I think every other leader should do the same, because it is only when we recognize the injustices or the delays of women issues, then we would really be able to deal with these matters more with more passion or empathy towards women issues, because women really have struggles. They have to become everything to everybody, balance a home, run their businesses, and you be mothers and sisters schooling their children schooling. And sometimes there's so many families that are actually just raised by women alone. I, for one, was raised by a single mom. And I think without knowing anything better, I've always think that women are capable. So we must be able to help women unlock their own capabilities. It is only then that I think our society's problems. I mean, you often find that there's so much gender-based issues that are happening in our society, but I think it's because society hasn't really began to give the women the space that they deserve, or the recognition that they deserve, or the respect that they deserve in all sectors, whether it's at home, whether it's in the boardroom, or whether it's in the community. So we need to keep on advocating for women's issues, and merely for even respect and the transformation for economic related issues when it comes to women. Firstly, again, there was a rather pleasant surprise that along the way, somebody has recognized the kind of work that we put into developing strong communities, strong partners, and whether they are suppliers or just from our CSI program. And I believe that those things actually reflect the brand of a company, whether it's a caring company. And it actually says to us as corporates that you can do good while you're doing well, or you do well while you're doing good, because often people take these things and separate them. But your brand needs to be really embedded in the communities itself. And the only way we can embed that is by doing good while we're doing well. And this for us is part of it, is developing the entrepreneurs that we work with. We've got a fantastic program. Firstly, our CSI program is very extensive. We really put a lot of dedication and time, and it's just not to be for us about ticking boxes of compliance. It's because we truly want our brand to reflect who we are as the leadership of the organization. And so we have got a very comprehensive CSI program, and I'll share a little bit about some of the CSI programs, but amongst others, the one that really reflects about the entrepreneurs for me, that really inspires that award, took it a little bit further. The entrepreneur programs, not only do we grant grants or give grants to the beneficiaries of this program. Last year alone, we spent about 15 million. We did a lot of education, excluding all our education programs, where we gave women entrepreneurs, grants to be able to assist them during COVID. And we also give them mentors. We also partner with organizations such as UJ or other institutions where they go for upskilling in terms of their own learnings, and we support them for a whole year. We'll send a mentor to be able to help them about identifying where the problems areas are in their businesses. What can they do to improve on their revenue? Because often people don't understand that being an absent entrepreneur or business person can actually affect your bottom line or your P&L. So we teach individuals on how to position their brand or their company or their organization so that they can maximize their revenue or profits generation. And that is just one of our flagship programs. It's done pretty well and it is very successful. Part of our other program that I really think is fantastic, all those that have been lucky enough to be chosen to be part of our supply database, especially if it's women entrepreneurs, we also put them through an entrepreneurial skill program where we actually make sure that they've given enough training in their businesses. We identify gaps in their businesses, and where we can, we'll give them all the support, whether through grants or equipment or paying for their interns or taking some sort of cost along the way, and we hold their hands. Because we believe that if our partners develop, then of course, if they're doing well, then there's less risk for us as an organization as well. But more importantly, we flourish when they flourish. And there's been a fantastic number of these programs of supporting entrepreneurs, no matter which bracket they are. We particularly like the small to medium and youth enterprises or businesses which belong to this category, because I still believe that they can still be shaped and corrected to in their own vision for them to be able to, and there's still a lot of room for them to grow. And yes, it's done pretty well, and we loved it. Last year, as I said to you, there was about 75 entrepreneurs in total that we supported, and they're flourishing and doing well, most of them. Well, firstly, we are very passionate about education and skills development. And we have categorized this in two ways. We've got a bursary foundation, which actually has started as far back as 1999. And we've developed in access now about 300 students. But this is no ordinary bursary that we put if you are lucky enough to be chosen to be part of this program. You have a bouquet of support services. You are entitled, you get, ICAS, where you got all your financial, your legal health, whatever, as a recipient. But more importantly, you've got access to our stunning life skill programs that actually, as a student, gear you up and shape you to be a responsible, adult and prepare you for the work-life experience. You also have opportunities for working internally as an interim. We partner you with a person in that field so that you can shadow them. You can have an on-job experience. So this has been a very successful program for ourselves. Education is a very key foundation for us. We've loved it. I myself, when I completed school, I didn't have an opportunity. At that time, education was not even free. So we've always seen the need to get more involved in our communities by embedding education. Then when it comes to that, we've got some beacon schools in the group that we support. Actually, most of them are maths and science. We support the teaching teachers how to teach so that they can achieve good results, so that more students can be, qualified to go to these so-called exclusive or difficult professions like in the maths and science. So we support it fully. We take those schools under our wing. We support them. We partner with other institutions where they give all the learning guides, past matric equipment, computers, data for students, so that they can be geared up for the first world. So those beacon schools for us are very critical. And then there's another program that we do for blind learning, for blind academy. That is a very important one for us. It's close to our hearts, where we identified a gap that there isn't much options for people with sight challenges. So we actually built and funded an academy just for blind learning. So education is very important to us. Another very important program is what we call our internship program. Our internship, if you've got a graduate already, we place you with, and if you are lucky to be part of that program, I must tell you, it is so beneficial, because you're not only, you've got access to first-class mentors, because even our mentors are trained how to mentor, and they're within the organization themselves. So you participate in this. We pay you, a stipend, but you get access to a volume of networks that you would ordinarily never get to. And those, for us, about skills development is very important, in that sense that not only can we absorb some of the graduates from this intern program, but we know we're preparing young entrepreneurs or young professionals that can support our society and support themselves, most importantly. Well, firstly, this is a question that about advice that I can share with women or business or entrepreneurs during the pandemic. And this is a real life experience. Often people don't understand what the impact of this and see it on a negative side. From the negative side that, oh, my business is closed down and my sales have dropped down. I often say, okay, great, you're on this side of the coin. How about if you spin it around and say, what is the opportunity that you can do? How can you look for other channels to grow your revenue? If you're going online, or if you're going to go to in-homes, in-person services, or explore how you bring the services or whatever professional services to your customers. You've got to think out of the box, and it challenges you, and you should look at it as a way of how can you get out of your comfort zone, because often, you sit there and you're comfortable in the way you do things. You've got to stretch yourself beyond that. Another important advice that I see a lot of entrepreneurs sit back and complain things are not doing well, or they leave it up to their managers and are quick to retrench. Yes, it is a way you can, cut down your expenses. But I say to entrepreneurs, roll up your sleeves, be the one that is behind the counter, be the one that is take on additional responsibility, understand your business more. It's when you are in it that you'll be able to find solutions. Don't sit back, don't stand away from it. And for me, I always tell entrepreneurs, get involved. Don't say, I'm sending a manager or a consultant or somebody's going to solve your problem. You're the best person, best placed to solve that problem, because you've invested your money. You understand this business. It was your vision. You've got to make sure that you can carry it even during difficult times.